Hey everyone, welcome back to the modern level on success in business and in life. The leader who has no title. In this session number six, we are going to discuss on the leadership conversation number third. When you have to deeper your relationship, you have to make stronger or strengthen your leadership. What it says, the Theodore Roosevelt says that the most people or the most important single ingredient in the formula of success is knowing how to get along with people. Harry Firestone also said that Harry Firestone also said that in this session 6 we are covering how to deepen your relationship to strengthen your leadership and the third Roosevelt the most important single ingredient in the formula of success is knowing how to get along with the people. Harry Firestone also said that you get the best out of others when you give the best of yourself. As Tommy and I drove up to the New York Public Library, I expressed my thanks to him for bringing me to meet Try. In our short time together, this former ski champion had an exceptionally strong influence on me. Both Ty and Anna had done something that, without a doubt, was causing transformation. After meeting those two special leaders, it became strikingly clear to me that a key focus on leaders without a title was just that to cause transformation and make things better. So, if you have to make the things better, you have to lead without a title and cause a transformation for making things better. As we made our way to our destination, Tommy and I went even deeper into the meaning of leadership and the method by which it can be shown. We discussed how there is now a call on the lives of every single one of us alive today to lead without a title and shift from all traces to victimhood into a daily commitment toward leadership. We reflected on the you need no title to be a leader principle of the philosophy that Anna had so generously shared along with reviewing the five rules of the image acronym that I could now use to ensure that I too learned would be translated into fantastic results. Tommy and I then vigorously dissected the turbulent times of build great leader principle that the unforgettable snow god type bond had just revealed to me, along with affirming the power of spark and how anyone could use the acronym's five practices to shine brightly in a world with too much darkness. And I continued to candidly express my concern that though I felt I do already experienced profound changes through the conversation with the teachers. I worried about the slipping back into old ways and losing the incredible gifts that I too received over the past hours of this most unusual day. You are now going to fail, promised Tommy. Just start off with the baby step that will soon grow into habits. It is sort of like walking a new path in the woods that you have never traveled before. At first, it is unclear and you feel a little lost, but the more you walk it, the more familiar it gets. And soon find yourself with the ability to walk it with your eyes closed. Leading without a title will soon become in nature. Remember, small daily improvements over time lead to stunning results. So keep improving daily to get the stunning result out from your daily works. Change is always the hardest at the beginning, but good news is that it will only get easier and you will only feel better. Blake the Great, Tommy offered, encouragingly addressing me the way Anna did a few times when we were back at the hotel. Thanks, I really appreciate the support, and I will always have you to count on. Anyway, right? I mean, you are my mentor now, I said confidently. Tommy fell silent as we continued to draw closer to the library. I will be here for you as much as I can be here for you. Blake, I am 77, not sure what my future holds for me. But have no worries, my friend, it is all good. I wasn't quite sure what to make of Tommy's commit or comment, but he began to smile again, so I didn't think much more about it. Two more meetings and then we are done, Black. Two more teachers and then you will know the four principles of leader without no title. You will be in state of heightened readiness to return to the bookstore and back to your personal life with all the insights and practices you need to show up at your leadership best. And as you work at world class, not only will your work with bright minded books fly, but also your levels of personal fulfillment will soar. Makes me think of what John F. Kennedy once said: the definition of happiness is the full use of your power, along the lines of excellency. By the way, the teacher we are about to meet spent much of his career in Shanghai. He used to be the CEO of a multi-billion-dollar technology outfit that employed over 25,000 people. Staggeringly smart guy. I should tell you a little like yours truly. Tommy said with a grin as he put on a particularly cool pair of blue tinted sunglasses that he pulled out from the glove compartment of his Poroche. The guy was definitely a work of art, a genuine original. I hoped we do stay in touch long after this day we were sharing ended. It was so clear that Tommy was not only a stellar model of the leader without a title, he was a superb example of a wonderful human being. We needed many more of this kind. We needed many more of his kind. It was nearly 3 in the afternoon by the time we walked up the grand step of the New York City Public Library and then into its main hall, soaring ceiling and majestic corridors met us as we walked quickly, eager to get to our next meeting. I felt peaceful being there, not only because Tommy was next to me, but also because I was once again surrounded by books. I'm taking you up to the rooftop like you, but or bet you have never been up there. No, never seen it. I agreed. Actually, I didn't even know there was something worth having a look at up there. There is my friend. Oh, but there is Tommy, replied mysteriously as we rode the painfully slow elevator to the top. As we excited, I was astonished by what I saw simply moved no weight, overlooking the breathtaking skyline of the sky. New York City was a huge stone terrace covered with a speculator rooftop garden. Dazzling colorful flowers were organized in neat rows from one end to the other, with labels, as many of them identifying what they were and where they came from. Intricately carved stone statues with ancient Chinese character etching upon them and decorated the space, while splendid garlands of fresh orchids had been delicately hugged from the walls. The fragrance in the air was beyond incredible. It was all quite magical and classical. Music piped through a sound system. I too never seen anything like this. All of a sudden, a man darted out from the behind one of the wooden floor filled planters. I was startled. I couldn't see his face because he wore a plastic mask, smiling through the one worn by the phantom of the opera. And the stranger kept chanting the same word over and over again, like some monk performing his morning affirmation. It is all about people. It is all about people. It is all about people. I grew frantic. I immediately looked over at Tommy to make sure he was safe. I had no idea what this unpredictable and frantic wild man was capable of. Let's go, I shouted. Let's not. He shot back and completely unfazed. Tommy didn't appear to be the slight. or the slightest bit concerned. He stood firmly among the rows of beautiful flowers with his arms crossed and a look of utter amusement sweeping across his face. Soon a smile appeared. Now, Jackson, we mustn't scare the new boy, Tommy stated. The stranger stood still, his mask slowly came off. He turned out to be a particularly gentle looking man somewhere in his 60s. I guessed he looked a little like a cross between San Coronary Confucius. I took that might be a bit hard to picture, but that is how he appeared to me, and the warmth of his personality was instantly evident. Thus, this must be the famous black from the bookstore. The man spoke kindly. He shook my hand with both of his in the way a master politician might. I not only relaxed realizing this was the third teacher, but also began to feel quite important by the way I was being described. This man seemed utterly focused on me. The world around him didn't cease to matter. I do hard about individuals with the developed ability to make others feel as if they were the most respected people in the room. This teacher was clearly one of them. Black, I'd like you to meet Jackson Chan. He is another close friend of mine. Come on over here, Blake. Didn't mean to scare you. I just wanted to get your heart pumping a little and to offer you some excitement in this terrifically boring world too many of us live within. Life is become pretty serious for most of us these days. Everyone's so occupied with keeping on top of too many things too much of the time. We need to lighten up and have more fun. I was just trying to make you laugh. I apologize if I went too far. You looked sort of concerned. Oops, Jackson offered with sincerity. No worries. KMF. Keep moving forward, I replied, effortlessly applying one of Ty's leadership lessons. I was surprised how much of what I do learned and sticking with me. Maybe the system that Tommy was exposing me to had some special design to it that I wasn't aware of. One that made it easier to adopt than I had previously imagined. And as both Anna and Ty had mentioned, the acronym served to make the rules unforgettable. At our first meeting, Tommy had told me that the learning would be automatic. I now began to sense that he spoke words of truth. I see he is met ski boy, Jackson said jokingly. Yeah, we just finished up with the chai before we came over here. Thanks so much for making time for us, said Tommy gracefully or graciously. Always a joy. How is chai? Anyway, in all seriousness, like You just meet a genuine at the art of turning difficult conditions into dazzling result. And he is a lovely person, noted Jackson affectionately. He was great, full passion and insights. He always, as always, replied Tommy. He asked me to give you his every best wishes and said he knows he will be seeing you soon. Great, said Jackson Marley or warmly. So, Black, I hear you are a vet. Before we start, I need to say thank you. I am ever so grateful. What simple word he used to express his appreciation. You are welcome, Jackson, was my genuine response. So, what can I get for you both? Jackson asked politely. I have coffee, tea, or water, and I just made a fresh batch of chocolate chips cookie. The kind with the really chewy chocolate chunk inside, he added, sounding more like a first gardener or grader than a former superstar CEO. The cookies sound perfect, I replied as our host whisked away for just a moment through a sliding door and then reappeared with a tray full of cookies that reminded me of my mom's baking. The aroma of the goodies made me feel a little melancholy. I missed my mom a lot. So you sort of hang out there on this amazing terrace and eat cookies all day. I said light-heartedly, regaining my footing. Sort of, Jackson replied, biting into one and taking the time to savor it. He, his eyes closed. He is the gardener. Up here, Black, the great visionary, responsible for taking an area that was nothing more than a mess of dirt and concrete and remarking it into this wonder that you now get to behold. He saw what most people wouldn't think is a dump and envisioned an oasis of beauty up here. And more important, he acted as on that vision to generate the speculator result that you are now witnessing. The gardener or garden was gorgeous. Jackson must have been a creative superstar in his previous life as a businessman. Very impressive. I agreed. I haven't seen anything like this in my entire life. After I gave up my CEO title as few years back, I returned to New York City. Shanghai was amazing, but I missed this place too much. I needed to come home. I was fortunate not to have to work due to the success of my business career. So I decided to pursue my greatest passion in life, gardening. When one of my friends on the board of director of this library brought me up here one morning to show me the view, I had my eureka moment. I decided right then and there to transform this place into the most marvelous garden anyone around here had ever seen. It has been one of my very best wins, Black. We plan to open it up to the public soon. That way, everyone can enjoy the gift that we are fortunate enough to be experiencing that right now. And will you welcome visitors with that mask of yours? I asked, playfully, scared this living daylight out of me. To be honest, Jackson smiled, appreciating my now spirited attitude. I like this kid, Tommy. Thanks for bringing him up here. One of my personal commitment is to surround it with only good, passionate, and positive people. One of my personal commitment is to be surrounded with only good, passionate, and positive people who make me feel happy. I can tell he is one of my tribe, so let's get down to business, Jackson said. Swiftly shifting gears, I know you have probably heard a lot about the leader without a title philosophy by now. Tommy has been one of our best students, so you sort of lucked out running into him. The sort of ran into me, I replied, looking over at Tommy, who gave me an affectionate thumbs up sign. Great, okay, my job today is to share the third leadership principle of the philosophy with you, along with an acronym that explain the five practical rules you can apply to make it a reality for you, which is, I asked in anticipation. It is a principle that unfortunately is all too often forgotten in this extremely fast moving and technology driven world we find ourselves doing business in. And I will express it in a single line: the deeper your relationship, the stronger your leadership. The deeper your relationship, the stronger your leadership. The main business of business is to connect with and add value to people. So, the main purpose of human life and human being is to connect with the people and give them values, add values to people. That is such an extremely important point to remember as you build out your career and craft a richly rewarding life. One of the things I was recognizing as I met each of the teachers who that was that while they were primarily sharing powerful ideas that would help me lead in my organization. Each one of them emphasized the importance of also leading a happy and meaningful life. That made a lot of sense to me. I was now already fully committed to leading without a title and expressing the absolute best within me. When I returned to work on Monday, I feel feeling so inspired and really to play full out, but more and more. I was also becoming enormously dedicated to retirement or retiring my personal life. My tour of duty had left me confused and hopeless. My girlfriend and I were having so much problem. My health wasn't great and I hardly even seemed to have much fun. Now I was finally ready to make some of real improvements. And I had the idea and tools to make them with. Business really is all about people black and enterprise is nothing more than a human venture that brings people together around some marvelous dream that inspires them to express the fullest of their talent and contribute rich value to these those they serve with all the technology, disruption, competition, and transition in the business world today. A lot of us have forgotten that the whole game is about relationships and human connections. With the pace people work at, it is easy to sacrifice relationship in pursuit of result. But the irony is that the stronger the bonds between you and your teammates, as well as with the customer you work for, the stronger the result. Actually, I should add that another purpose of business is to be actually helpful. I know that sounds simple, but business is pretty simple. And the most successful business people and the greatest organizations stick to the fundamental rather than make things too complicated. Business is a vehicle to help other human beings to engage employees to so they realize their human potential and to help your customer achieve their highest aspiration. So this is all about in the session part one of the session six about the, the deepen your relationship, the stronger your leadership.